Hello and welcome to our fourth lesson of Key Question 7, Rebuilding the Country After 1945 of Depression War and Recovery, 1930 to 1951. Our focus today is going to be to do with these things. And I wonder if you look at these, if you can guess what we're going to be thinking about today. So the Post Office, Royal Mail, travel, coal industry. Have a think if you can, any ideas what we're going to be thinking about. So we're going to be looking at nationalisation. So a lot of these industries have been nationalised. That was the clue there. So we're going to be looking at how and why Labour nationalised key industries in the 1940s and 50s. Okay. So first of all, a bit of a quiz. Who was the Prime Minister of the Labour government and he won a landslide victory in 1945? I'll give you 3, 2, 1. It was Clement Attlee, of course. Okay. Who introduced the NHS and has a statue in Cardiff? Hopefully you've guessed that it's Aneurin Bevan, okay, Minister for Health and Housing during the Labour government. Okay, so nationalisation then. One answer to the problem of unemployment was nationalisation. It meant that in theory, the government would take over major industries and run them for the benefit of the country rather than private owners. Labour believed that they could control and manage the economy more effectively and maintain full employment. So basically what they would do is if the government owned things like coal mines, they could standardise pay, they could standardise medical, they could standardise working conditions, and that would create more jobs. Okay. There was inconsistencies at the time with pay. For instance, one mine owner could pay a little amount of money, one could be paying a bit more. They had the workers, some had workers working lots of hours, others didn't, and it just meant that you could standardise things and give people more jobs and make pay fairer, okay? And this is what they wanted to do. So what I want you to do from that now is just explain the term nationalisation, okay? Basically when the government takes control of industries, okay? So explain that for me so you've got a bit of a definition in your books. So I suggest you pause the video and do that for me now. So why? They believe that the profits of these companies should go back into the company to benefit the workers, not just the individuals who are in charge of it. It was aimed to help the people and keep the working classes in jobs, and Labour had promised 100% employment. If you remember from their manifesto at the end of Key Question 6, they wanted full employment for everybody. So I want you now to explain why the Labour government wanted to nationalise, okay? Use those key points, write down why did they want to nationalise. I'm going to suggest you pause and come back to me. Hopefully you've done that now. So was it successful? Some ways it was, some ways it wasn't. So positive impact, conditions in many workplaces improved, especially health and safety, due to government management, for example, of the mining industry. Also, the National Coal Board offered sick pay and holiday pay, which is something that they'd never had before. Unemployment was very low in the post-war period, which was completely different after the First World War when employment had spiralled out of control. Okay. The negative effects, although employment was below 3%, the reason for this was that American loans flowed into Britain by the Marshall Plan, so there was money coming into Britain from different areas as well. Many industries were badly run and cost the government and therefore taxpayers' money. These industries were privatised as they were perceived to be failing industries in the 1980s. They actually ended up privatising them anyway in the 1980s because they thought they were badly run. Could you now put that into it, just condense it down and put it into a positive and negative table for me? So positive on one side, negative on one side, and just cut it down for me. So I'm going to suggest you pause. Hopefully you've paused and done that now. So what I want you to do now is using page 186 of the textbook, or if you don't have the textbook, I want you to use research. I want you to go on BBC Bitesize, the website that we always use, BBC History, and I want you to find out a little bit about how Labour nationalised these industries. So if you put into Google coal industry nationalisation 1947 and so on and so forth, you should be able to find out a bit of information about it. So I want you to pause and go away and do that for me. Hopefully you've done that now. And we're going to have a go at a question for exam practice. So explain the connections between any of the three of the following. So you've got the NHS, Beveridge Report, nationalisation, and the Homes for All. Now, again, select the three. Fully explain the connections. You'll get barely any marks for explaining what they are. If you explain what all of them are, you'll get 4 marks. That's it, okay, out of 12. So yes, a sentence perhaps saying what they are, but basically explaining the links. So think about the connections. If I was doing this, perhaps I would do the Beveridge Report, NHS, and Homes for All, and how they link in together. Okay, how does the NHS link to Homes for All? How does Homes for All link to the Beveridge Report to NHS? There's some sentence starters for you there. and a mark scheme for you here. Okay, so once you've done that, use the mark scheme, have a go, give yourself a mark, and off you go. Thank you very much.